Well, hi everybody. This is Caroline,
And Kurt,
and this is the business of
Christmas.
wow. Well, hey, welcome to the first episode of our new podcast. This is the business of Christmas. Some of you may recognize Kurt and myself from a podcast that we did earlier this year called Tinsel Talk. We actually, unfortunately, ended up kind of putting that in hiatus. Everybody was running in different directions, right, Kurt? So,
Yes,
but we really wanted to bring it back to the table for the commercial decorating community. So, Kurt, why don't you tell us more about what this podcast is all about?
right. I think for us, Caroline, it was discussing what is our mission here? What did we want to do when we wanted to start this podcast? And it was really build the community and educate. Two things we both
Mm-hmm.
love. And
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's something we've been hearing over the last several months is people are looking for that. Not only the education, but a place to belong and a group to belong with. And for us, that's it. I mean, in a nutshell, I think there may be something else you may want to add to that, but I've just I'm just real excited about the people we've gotten to talk to already, the people we're going to talk to, the things that I know people are going to learn from this. And I've already had an opportunity to learn and help other people from Tinsel Talk, and that was very rewarding. So I'm looking forward to what we can accomplish here and pulling everyone
Mm-hmm.
together.
Yeah, me too. Absolutely. Yeah, me too. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Like you just mentioned, we've already recorded a lot and we've had some great guests, which we are slowly going to start to introduce. Some of them will actually be regular guests, right? They've committed to coming back, but we've already got a CEO of a company that does a lot of business down here in Texas. We have a holiday Christmas manager out of London who was visiting me down here in San Antonio a couple of weeks ago, and I loved what she had to say. Didn't you, Kurt? It was
Oh,
so interesting.
absolutely. Yeah, it was very interesting conversation. Everyone's going to love listening to. And then, of course,
Yeah,
we've got the wonderful designer in Houston that everyone's going to be familiar with. Looking forward to being able to air that one as well. And Caroline, so
yeah.
we were talking about what are some of the things that you believe our listeners are going to learn from the episodes that we've already recorded? Like, I'm thinking
Oh my
time
goodness.
saving tips. What else can you think of that
Time
are important?
saving, pricing, what's so different about the commercial industry to the residential industry. If you're on the fence about maybe you're already doing residential and if you want to go into that. And then also, with Holly from London, just the struggles that they have that are so different to our issues that we run into, for them being in such a large, concentrated city. So I
Oh,
think,
yes.
and then of course we talked to a CEO of a very large holiday company down here in Texas, and that have been in business for 40 plus years. And I think he had some really good nuggets to share as well. So,
Absolutely, but it's great hearing everyone's stories about how they got started. That's so exciting to me just to
mm,
hear where they started and where they've ended up and the lessons they've learned that we've got a number of people that share that. And that is really, when you say nuggets, that's what we're really talking about. It's just
yeah.
that really valuable information that people have spent a lifetime learning and building their companies. And
Hmm.
so I'm just excited for the listeners and people watching this podcast to get to experience the things that we're already seeing and that we've recorded. So I'm really excited about that.
Yeah. So, Kurt, we talked about where people have come from, and there's going to be a lot of people that don't know who we are listening to this. So, how did you get started in the business?
That's a great question. I know we've answered this several times, but so for me, I just have always had a love of Christmas.
Uh-huh.
And about 7 years ago, I had an opportunity to get into this business. I started with residential design and learning about all the different vendors in the industry, and then I quickly moved into sales. And then from sales to sales leadership, and I learned about all the different vendors, um, uh, the manufacturers in the world, and got to experience a number of things very quickly. And so I learned a lot. I met someone like you, and we've been close ever since. And frankly, we
Hmm.
talk quite often about things I still don't know that I'm learning. And so that's how I got started. But it was that love of the Christmas, and then the business is it's exciting to work with people that create that magic for their clients every year, or to create that
Hmm.
for your customer and how pleased they are after you're done. It's a lot of work, right? I enjoy sales more than I probably do installing, but at the end of the day, it takes both, and having that knowledge on both sides, I think
Hmm.
it helps me help customers, really get what they need or understand. I understand better what they're asking for, because I've experienced it, and so this is just an extension of that, right? I've learned that, I wanna share what I've learned, and then learn from other people still, right? I'm still hungry for that information. And
Yeah.
Caroline, how did you get started?
Oh my goodness. Well, I've probably been in the industry like 25 years, like from a professional point of view, but I've shared the story before and some people have heard it and lots of people haven't. But when I was 16, I was asked to decorate somebody's tree in a very large, what we would call stately home. Um, a very affluent lady, and who unfortunately is no longer with us. And she just said, darling, she goes, would you decorate my tree? Well, it was like probably a 12, 13-foot real Christmas tree. And she took me to London. I went to Harrods and she let me literally buy what I want. And who know why I picked what I did, but I picked all white glass ornaments and white decor. And that was probably how it started. And I did that for I don't know, maybe till I was 18 or 19. It was like she was a family friend. So it was a yearly thing. And I also remember always doing her mantelpiece with like, not mantle, well, a mantle, but also she had a 3-story house, but with a very wide staircase, kind of a Downton Abbey staircase. And I remember doing live pine all the way up the staircase as well. And that's really before, I can't even remember, like lights weren't like they were right now, right? So,
No, they weren't.
but yeah, so that was my first paid gig when I was 16. And who knew that, then, back in 1996, like getting back into the industry again. So, and I caught the bug, just like many people do. And I feel blessed to work in this industry. Anybody that knows me knows how passionate I am about it. But I'm not a greedy person. I love to give information back. And there's enough business for everybody. And I just love to see companies coming into our industry and growing. So I currently work for a company called Seasonscapes. I run Seasonscapes. And we are a company that produces pre-decorated decor for companies that don't want to do it themselves. And we ship it all around the United States. But I also have a background of install, takedown, storage, growing businesses as well. So I do a lot of consulting around the country as well. So, Kurt, you forgot to tell us who you're working for right now and what you do, because you work for a
Absolutely.
very well known name. So,
Yes, I do. And for those of you
mm,
that don't already know, I work for Vickerman Leadership Sales, and we have a fantastic team. Vickerman's been around
mhm,
40 plus years, and they have a phenomenal product line of shatter resistant, every tree you can imagine as far as style. We have commercial decor, everything you could imagine or need. I'd say we're the one stop shop. If you need to put a project together and you don't have time to go everywhere else to try to source something different for some reason, you can get everything you need from us. And that's really exciting for me. We have very good quality, we have great customer service. Those things that I've learned through my time in the industry, what's important, how do we do it versus someone else, for example. And
mhm,
so, and I've been able to bring my insight to some of the companies I've worked for as well around the customer experience, extremely important. At Vickerman, they've already got it figured out. I mean, they understand their customer experience and
mhm,
they try to do the very best. And if there's something we need to change, learn, we do that, and that's exciting. We're always looking. The CEO is always looking for what tool, how do we need to improve, what can we do better. That's exciting for me. And then, of course, getting to work with people and tell them about the latest tool or whatever it is that I geek out about. But it's all
mhm.
designed around that customer and helping them. So, and it's funny you were talking about trees earlier when you did the tree for your. I'm sorry to take you back to when you started decorating. Was that a live tree
Mhm.
that we?
It was a
Yeah,
live tree. Oh,
and you had to put what kind of C9 lights, old fashioned retro
you
bulbs?
know
What
what?
was it?
I really don't remember. I remember that they were multicolored, though. I
Yeah,
do
they were.
remember that. And I hate multicolored lights to this day. I really don't. We get several customers every year saying, "Hey, I want a tree with multicolored lights." Well, our trees all come with warm white, and they're more than welcome to overlay if they want. But
It's okay.
I
You can
don't
get them from
know.
Bickerman. We have them. It's okay.
I
Just call.
I okay. There's a plug. There's a plug.
I was going
And
to
for
bring it back to we have retro bulbs too for those old fashioned
yes,
trees.
you
I'm just,
do.
I that wasn't I wasn't trying to do that,
No. So
but
So for anybody listening, I would have thought most people know Vickerman, and if they don't, they need to because it's a great source. And then if people don't know what Seasonscapes is, obviously you can look us up on Instagram or go to our website or contact me directly, through listening on the podcast. But we've been around for oh my goodness, 30, 40, close to 40 years in the Christmas business. So a long time. The whole wholesale division is much newer though. But yeah, like I said, I say it every day. I enjoy driving in. I enjoy being covered with glitter all throughout the year. And, it's fun. And I'm really looking forward to this podcast and what our listeners will hear, but also hopefully sometimes they'll watch too, because obviously both you and I, Kurt, we travel a lot and we're blessed to be able to do that in our job. And that takes us to some really cool places that not everybody has access to. And we're talking about the markets, we're talking about shows overseas, and sometimes maybe even factories as well, where we can give people just a little more insight into the commercial Christmas world. So really looking forward to that in the future.
Yeah, I am as well. I think we're talking about what are we looking for inspiration from Christmas World, right? We've talked about that probably in a few of our episodes.
Yeah.
That's something that's important for us, just because we enjoy going and meeting the people we meet there and seeing the new
Hmm.
inspirations. But for me, I'd love to be able to do a live podcast from one of those, from one of those shows and locations. I know
Fingers
Transworld
crossed.
Christmas Show does it as well, and that would be something that would be exciting to do as well. So if
Hmm.
listeners want to be interviewed, talk, and you're going to be at those shows, whether it be Transworld's Christmas show in St. Louis or in Frankfurt in
All the
February,
markets, all the
or
all
the
the all the
markets, yes,
markets. Yeah, for
absolutely. So
sure.
we're in the markets as well. I'm thinking shows we're traveling to, but I'm just at the markets, right? Normally, they're very busy, but yes, I'd love to do that as well there. I would love to
Hmm.
interview people while you're there, get your take on whatever the issue is or what you're seeing during that season. Would be
Hmm.
really helpful for us.
Yeah, yeah, no, for sure. And also, although we can't talk about it yet, we've got some collaborations in the work with some people that deal with some very large shows that are very soon going to be included in our podcast, and vice versa. We have been invited to work with them on some of their marketing materials that they're doing as well. So more on that to come, and hopefully we'll be able to enlighten people to where we are and encourage people when they have the time and it fits within their personal budgets to be able to come to the things as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
Caroline, is there
So
anything else you want to make sure we cover with our listeners? We're getting close to our time here, but I want to make sure that I guess we need to give everyone where they can find us, right? If they're listening to us
for
on
sure.
YouTube and you found us there, or Spotify, we're going to be on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We'll have a website with the links at the business of Christmas, excuse me. And so you should be able to find all the content there and on Instagram. Anything else you can think of? We want to make sure.
No, but obviously, as we start pushing this out, I will use my Instagram followers to push it out, and hopefully, all of our friends in the Christmas industry will then in turn push that out. So we'll get word out pretty quickly, I think, over the next few weeks. So,
Yes, please, everyone, share. If you find this interesting, you think it's useful, we'd love to hear that in comments. Reach out to
hmm.
either one of us. Let us know what you think. We're excited about this and looking forward to a busy season. I know it's kicked off. Caroline, I know we mentioned we may have, what is it, a one a week episode that we may release, what, right? Every Friday and
Hmm.
8 a.m. We'll have an episode drop every week. And I think we have enough content to carry us for a little while. And then we'll come back together and record some more. So we'd love to hear from those people that want to talk to us because we definitely want to record you if you have time this season.
Hmm. Absolutely, absolutely. And I just kind of reiterate, we are all up to our necks in glitter right now. But put your earbuds on. You don't have to watch. You can listen while you are shaping a tree or decorating a tree, and hopefully it will be inspiration for you to help you get through the season and also prepare for the next season, which is not far away. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Well, I
yeah,
think in closing, Caroline, I just want to thank everybody for, tuning in to the business of Christmas. And again, we're excited and looking forward to connecting with everyone. I hope everyone enjoys the podcast.
yep, yep. Anyway, thank you for watching and listening. You take care. Until the next time. Bye.
Bye.